Nobody's listening, right?
Hi, Andy.
Hello.
As you might know, this is a podcast where you and I talk to each other as though no one were listening. But I am curious, is anyone listening?
Yeah. Last week we talked about, we thought it was a tennis coach.
I think it was a few weeks ago.
A few weeks ago. Well, the tennis client chimed in on a review. So I guess we had the coach and then there was the client, and we liked the word client.
This is upper class country club goer.
Yeah.
We think
Yeah.
we've decided.
So this is what they said. Dearest Elizabeth and Andy, nice start, by the way.
Dearest classy.
I am the tennis client from last week's episode review.
Right.
And get this, we play tennis in none other than Andy's former digs of Haley, Idaho.
Wow.
What are the chances?
What are the chances?
Now, this is a mountain town, right?
Yes.
I don't recall many outdoor tennis courts.
Please. You were there like a whole era ago.
Okay, but I'm just saying that I bet there were some tennis courts at
And
the
also,
resort.
like, you left Haley in a cloud of cigarette smoke to go to college in Montana. I don't think you were, like, clued into the tennis scene.
Okay, you don't even know where I'm going with this, okay?
Okay.
There was a tennis club, I think the Warm Springs Racket Club, maybe. Neither here nor
Love
there.
a racket club.
There was an indoor spot, I recall. I think it was called Idlewild, maybe. But it was in Haley, and it was near my house.
Wow.
It was like a complex, and I think it was a complex that you could play in the winter. I might be so wrong about this, but on the off chance
Oh, my gosh.
that this client plays in there, I think it was in this neighborhood called Woodside. Woodside. Maybe just shoot a DM on the Nobody's Listening Right Instagram. I'm just so curious. And I'm also curious if they ever go to the Snow Bunny, which is a really trashy fast food restaurant that I love.
I'm really curious also, like, what they do
Okay, let me
for a
finish that
living
message.
because, okay, carry on.
I regret to inform you that there are no tennis whites or courtside romance involved. Sorry to deflate that. I love your show so much and was, of course, led here by St. Monica.
Oh, my God, we had it prepared.
It's back.
Beautiful.
Now I'm worried that we're going to forget to take it back to the bedroom. It's like it's either one spot or the other, and then we forget to leave it in the other spot. Do you know what I'm saying?
I think we should just carry it with us wherever we go.
It's problem solved. Thank you for providing me endless entertainment and humor. I will continue spreading the gospel so that everyone can enjoy your fantastic show. Love, Emma.
Oh my gosh, Emma.
Do you think
what a
when
great
she
name.
is spreading the gospel, she's like, and one of the hosts lived in this very town?
Yeah, I should hope so.
Do I need to get a write-up in the, what's the paper called?
Sun Times or whatever?
There used to be 2 little papers, and now I think there's only one. Probably, consolidation, big business, that happens. The Iron...
You probably,
losing my mind.
you could probably make a name for yourself. Although, a lot of celebrities coming out of that area. We got Willis is your ex-girlfriend, who's quite a big influencer, actor. And
I think we could get a write-up. We just got to wait for the right time for the write-up.
I want to know what Emma?
Yeah.
Is it Emma? Can you double check?
Looks like Emma, yeah.
Does for a living to live there, because I always wonder about that. Like, I don't know what the industry is there. I understand the tennis pro teacher.
Mm-hmm.
That's a cool gig there.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
Yeah.
But, like, is Emma independently wealthy? Like, I would love to know what's happening. And she doesn't have to, she could also just slide that into our DMs.
There's lots of jobs you could be doing up there.
Yeah.
My parents, teacher, dad worked at a auto parts store, lots of stores, all the tourism-based stuff.
Yes.
Ski instructor, restaurants, a lot of restaurant work.
Yep.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
maybe they do guided tours of something really cool in the woods
Yeah, that we don't even know about,
that
like
we don't even know about.
foraging.
They have like a yurt business,
Yes.
high-end yurt business.
Right.
It could be anything.
You know what? Foraging. Oh, by the way, spreading the gospel
Yeah.
reminded me. We had several incredible nobodies reach out, one of whom is a minister.
Oh, yeah.
Also, like, really dope Christians who still listen to us idiots talking about the testaments and illuminating a lot of things that make a lot of sense. One thing
About religion.
About
Christianity
and the Bible and whatnot. One of the things that I found very interesting, someone messaged us a very in-depth message that I appreciated, which was the whole thing about Noah being like 600 years old.
Mm-hmm.
That whole story is like God was like, oh my God, all of these fuckwads down there are being evil and terrible to each other. I kind of need a clean slate with this whole Earth human thing.
Okay.
So here's the deal. I'm going to wipe them all out. But Noah, I want you to take care of the animals. Like, we at least need the seed, which, to start over again.
But he killed all the animals except a pair of each species.
But he needed to repopulate. So it was like, I'm getting rid of all of everything minus, a couple of people and some of the animals. And then once he did that, it almost seems like, well, I'm now I don't mean to speak for God, but it almost seems like he kind of regretted it and was like, I'm never going to do that again.
Okay.
And I think I'm getting this all wrong.
God.
But I think it was something along the lines of, I'm not going to let these humans live so long anymore.
Yeah.
So that, like, the evil ones can kind of do their, like, have a shorter time to evil.
So he trimmed their ages?
Yeah.
You're making him sound like one of those out of touch entitled billionaires that like one day is like, you know what? I need to strip it all back. But they still buy the like really cool modern place, but like they get rid of everything and they just have like 3 white t-shirts that cost $1,000 each. Like they go minimal, but they're like so annoying. That's what this God
let's not
sounds
get
like.
into this because we've done a lot of that. But
the whole point you're trying to make is that we complain so much about.
I appreciate the education, the insight, and like that really helps me understand. I still don't I'm not identifying as a Christian, although I will say I really like Jesus Christ and what he's all about.
I don't.
That dude. What?
Yeah.
You don't know enough about him.
I don't like any guy that shows up. I just can't wrap my head around any guy showing up. Like if they showed up now and they're pretending to be Jesus.
Lightning is going to come through the roof right now and like smite you or whatever.
Okay, let's move on.
Wait, hang on. I just do want to say Jesus was, here we go. Jesus was we wouldn't be friends with him because he's like too good. His whole thing is like, washing, he'd be out there in, the streets washing people's feet and making a big show of it. Actually, no, that's not true. Not making a big show of it.
No, I think he was making a big show, but that's exactly what rubs me the wrong way.
Okay. Anyway, I think he was a really good person.
I want to thank Beis for supporting our show. Now you don't need to choose between beautiful pieces and functional luggage. Beis luggage makes travel a breeze. Go to beistravel.com/NLR for 15% off your first purchase. That's BEIS travel.com/NLR.
I love my Beis bag. We'll get more into it later, but
very
into it. Okay, I went out last night. Oh, first of all, I wanted to tell you, small world, I love when LA sometimes feels like, oh, this is my town.
So fucking gross.
Why?
I don't know.
Be nice to me.
I want to be so nice to you. I'm in a really good mood. The neighborhood taking the kids to school, everyone was smiling. It felt like we're in like a happy day today. So I'm in a good mood.
I'm glad you're in a good mood.
I'm just saying, but that's something about you.
I like it when LA feels small to me.
Okay.
And it is. I mean, LA is just a compilation of small neighborhoods or medium-sized neighborhoods smushed together. And I was in an Uber last night, which I want to talk about.
Mm-hmm.
And driving by, guess who I see at a
Stoplight?
he was at a he was at a bar. I don't think he would care. Sitting outside eating with someone.
Okay.
Having a great time.
Okay.
Guess who?
What neighborhood?
Ours.
It
It was great. It was such a good feeling.
And did he see you, or did you just see from the Uber?
I saw from the Uber, and I was like, that's fun. That I'm in an Uber driving is not like super close to our house, and I see someone I know.
Oh, you know, or a celebrity?
Both.
Oh.
I'll just tell you.
Okay.
David Farrier.
Oh.
Isn't that fun?
Oh, that is fun.
It was great. And it made me feel warm and fuzzy inside. And then, but that was the only highlight of the Uber drive. And I wanted to ask you how to handle this. I haven't yet completed my Uber experience.
Oh, okay.
On the app.
Yeah.
Or maybe it was Lyft. Now, I didn't pony up for like the nice Lyft. And
Did you do Lyft or Uber?
Lyft.
Okay.
You and I do not often do rideshare apps.
I hate it.
I hate it too. And this app, Lyft, I had to like update and, it was a whole thing.
Yeah.
I probably haven't used it in like a year or more.
Why are you a Lyft person?
Oh, I tried to do Uber and the app was like too confusing for me to figure out.
Got it. Okay.
Okay. So Lyft, I didn't pony up for like the Lyft premium.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just like, I'll just get a Lyft. And maybe therein lies the difference. Maybe it's like, I wonder if with Lyfts or even airlines do this where there's economy, now there's economy premium, and it almost feels like, oh, you're not going to pay for economy premium, then you don't get to have any expectations of anything.
Sure.
Well, I get into this car, which first of all, I saw like flying down our street the wrong way and going too fast. And I was like, oh, boy. I get into it. You would have not liked this. The seat next to me has about 7 used, like bleach wipes.
Get the fuck out of here. On the seat?
Yes. And I literally got in and I like said to him, I was like, oh, this is here. And he tried to reach back to get him and he couldn't reach them. And then he almost like motioned to me to touch them. And I was like, oh, it's okay. I'm fine. We'll just leave them there. And the car was dirty.
What kind of car was it?
Like I think a Toyota of some sort.
Okay.
Not stopping at stop signs.
Yeah.
Do you know how I feel about that?
It's unlawful.
All of the windows down, which like I was going out, my hair was as done as my hair gets.
Okay.
A window situation with like a woman who's looking pretty nice.
Mm-hmm.
I asked him to roll up the windows, which he did. He was nice also, and this is what I'm going to get to. So driving felt a little like, oh, and like we got on the highway and he was one of those people who goes into the far left lane. And then right when you're supposed to merge on the far right lane into the highway where there's traffic, he's coming over and like slowing down and stopping. So it's really dangerous to do that. Do you know what I'm talking about?
No.
Okay, like you're on a highway and you're gonna get onto the other highway. You're supposed to be in the right lane. But to get onto the other highway, there's a lot of traffic.
Mm-hmm.
So people who are just staying on the normal highway are on the left lanes going faster.
Okay, yeah.
This happens all the time in LA. There's some people who don't wait in the traffic on the right. They go in the left lanes, and then what they do is right when you merge onto the highway, they basically stop in the middle of like this fast traffic to cut in line.
Because they're like, hey, let me in now?
Yeah, because it's their last opportunity.
Okay, yeah.
I find it very off-putting. And it felt very unsafe, so that happened. Then, this wasn't his fault, but Lyft took us on such a fucking crazy trek to get to this place.
Okay.
Like, up in the hills, it was in, a area we used to live in.
Okay.
So I know my way around.
Yeah.
And I'm like, why on earth? And then we get there, and, like, I can't get out. The door is locked. It was just such an annoying ride.
Yeah.
Now, here's my question. Do I tip yes, I'm going to tip. But do I say when it's like, how was your ride? Do I say like, he was nice, however, he could have stopped at stop signs and also the car was very dirty. Like, do I do that to someone? And also knowing, I know this is a hard gig.
Mm-hmm.
It's not fun, I don't think.
Mm-hmm.
He's hardworking. He seemed nice. I asked him a few things. I'm also like, is he giving me a bad rating? Probably, because I got in and I was like, ew.
I should hope not. Because, well, if in that case, if he is giving you a bad rating, then I'm like, you torch him.
Well, you don't know.
I know that. I know
Oh,
that's the
okay.
problem.
But what would you do? Because, and then here's the other question. Does it even matter? Like, are people looking at the ratings and like reading comments and being like, oh, I'm not going to take that?
Well, I don't think anyone sees any of the comments, do they? It's only like, I think
well,
the company.
In that case, I don't need to.
Yeah, I think you would only really give a scorching review if you thought he was really unsafe, in which case that would be something you'd want to notify Lyft about.
Right. And I don't think this was to that degree. Okay. So I'll just give him a standard tip and then carry on with my life.
I guess so. It doesn't feel satisfying, though.
Yeah. Well, that's okay.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you.
Damn.
Yeah, it's okay. I was like, I don't like doing this. And as a woman, also, I'm always like, this, I'm surprised it doesn't end in bad things more often.
Isn't there an all-woman driving app that you could use?
Is there?
You might just have to like call it earlier because it might be less
I'll
drivers.
look into that. That's cool.
But I think there is.
Anyway, the party I went to, which was a release for Paul Scheer's incredible book, Joyful Recollections of Childhood Trauma. He read from it. It's incredible, and I'm very excited to read the rest of it. I highly recommend anyone go and purchase it. But luckily, we have a friend who is a neighbor who happened to be there, and I got a ride home, and I was so glad.
That's fantastic.
Yeah. These things happen.
Great. Should we talk about Beaver butt ice cream real quick?
Oh, my God. Oh, my God. I forgot that we were talking about this.
Yeah.
Yes. Oh, this is going to be tough, though. I'll tell you why.
Yeah.
I'm nervous because I just had my coffee with creamer.
Yeah.
And it's in my stomach right now.
Good. Very good.
No.
Well, when you were out a few nights ago, let's set this up. We were watching Shark Tank and some lady came on. What was she hawking? Do you remember?
Yes. It was like a tea that's coffee.
Maybe.
It's like a tea that drinks like coffee and it has different flavors of this.
Yeah.
But it doesn't, she said, like, the flavors that they use in like creamers and stuff.
That's it. It was
are made basically, and I'm curious to hear, have you done a dive?
Oh,
okay.
I'm well equipped to tackle this.
We were watching it with the kids too, as we do. And she was like, do you know that the flavorings, like they can say all natural flavors.
Yeah.
But for like vanilla.
Yeah.
They don't have to disclose where they got those all natural flavors, which I find shocking.
Yeah.
And did you know it's from the anal glands of beaver butts?
Yeah.
What the fuck?
Beaver butt goo, if you will.
I've talked in the past about having expressed Ruby's anal glands.
Oh my God.
Back in the day.
Yeah.
There is nothing. There is such an oh, that was why Ramona's anal glands.
How is your Aunt Ruby, by the way?
Oh, that was very funny. Ramona's anal glands had expressed when we were trying to put her into the carrier, remember?
Yeah.
There is.
Okay.
Like, it is a
Enough.
specific funk.
Well, it's different from animal to animal.
Oh, sure.
Clearly. But
oh, God. My stomach's already turning.
anyways, this lady on Shark Tank is like, they use in vanilla creamer and strawberry natural flavorings. It's often beaver butt, whatever. Now, I remember seeing these headlines too. This is something that's like been popping up the last few years. And so I was like, oh yeah, I've heard of that. But so us seeing it on Shark Tank with the kids left an impression on all of us.
Oh, God.
I didn't tell you this. We got milkshakes at In-N-Out the other night. And we get in the drive-thru, and the drive-thru was painfully long. And I'm like, are we doing this? And the kids are like, yeah, let's do it. And it ended up being fun, but we're in the drive-thru for like a half hour, but we're having fun in the drive-thru. They get a strawberry milkshake and a vanilla milkshake. And like, we're 2 minutes after getting them. We're still in the car. And Teddy's like, oh, these might have beaver butt stuff in them. I'm not eating this. And I'm like,
Oh,
what?
no.
We just waited in a fucking 30-minute
You
line.
will drink that beaver butt
Yeah.
and you will love it.
So she didn't. Are
you kidding?
Yeah, our son got through most of ours. He didn't seem so concerned. But I got the knowledge. Are you ready?
No. And I'm also like, okay, well, yes, give it to me.
All right, I grabbed some quotes from a good article. This was from the Smithsonian that grabbed a bunch of info from a bunch of other places, National Geographic, Vice. So this is like legit.
Legit.
Okay. If you've been on the internet in recent years, you might have seen the claim that artificial vanilla flavoring found in cookies or ice cream comes from the goo secreted out of beaver anal glands. Okay? So every few years, this seems to go viral. While this statement is not entirely false, they do excrete a sweet-smelling and edible castoreum from sacs near their anuses.
What?
Experts say you probably can't find this goo on the shelves of your nearest grocery store.
Okay.
Okay? It turns out the stuff is incredibly expensive and rare. And I would hope so, okay?
I also would hope so, but you never know. You know, there's crazy shit going on.
Yeah.
There are labs all over this country with like fucking beagles and sweet little monkeys getting tortured for your like face creams
Yeah.
and I could totally see a like situation where they're like pigsties but tiny for beavers, but they're facing backwards and someone's just coming through. You know, I know how to squeeze those glands. You got to go in and up. In and upping into a cup. But what a relief. Okay, so it's not in my coffee creamer.
Okay.
That costs cheaper is better here.
Yes.
Okay.
So castoreum, I'm not sure if I'm saying that right, is a yellowish brown substance located in the castor sacs between the pelvis and the base of the tail. Okay. They use this to mark their territories, which makes sense. Right?
Makes sense, yeah.
Very distinctive smell. Humans can even smell it like out in the wild,
Sure.
which might be why we found it. Very musky, but sort of sweet smelling. Okay. Now, this starts getting interesting. Humans have been using it for more than 2,000 years, mostly to cure ailments like headaches, earaches, toothaches, fevers, and toothaches,
Okay.
fevers, and gout. Okay.
Gout.
The Romans burned castoreum in lamps, believing the fumes caused abortions. You weren't ready for that, were you?
It was. First of all,
Yeah.
well, this is interesting because I heard or read or saw recently that the word abortion actually just means any pregnancy that doesn't like go all the way. So what we phrase as miscarriage, because I would think it would be causing miscarriages.
It does say believes the fumes caused abortions, which, yeah, I bet you're right in that thought.
Okay, we don't need to get whatever. Anyway, sorry.
It's also been used extensively in perfumery to add a leathery scent, but removing it from the beavers is a very labor-intensive process. First, the animals
get me
must
in there.
be
Get me in there. I can do it.
They must be anesthetized, and then the glands must be milked.
Yep. I know how to milk those.
You can squirt it out, says wildlife ecologist Joanne Crawford. It's pretty gross, she says.
I've been there. It's gross, but it's also satisfying.
Can also be harvested from dead beavers.
Oh, that doesn't make me happy.
if the sacks are removed and left to dry.
Now, you remember when we were talking about like foraging and stuff? Oh, they have to remove the sacks. I was thinking like now they're going to be people going, oh my gosh, this goo is really valuable. I'm going to go out and kill a bunch of beavers and then milk them.
Oh.
Don't
and
love
are
that.
we now a part of that?
We're part
pushing
of the
that narrative?
Problem.
Anyways, so of food stuff, there is a niche Swedish liqueur that still uses it, but like 99, it says 99% of the world's vanilla comes from other stuff. So we're good.
Okay.
So we can tell the kids there's no beaver
no
butt goo.
beaver
in there.
butt.
Yeah.
Follow-up questions.
Yeah.
Several.
Yeah.
First of all, I'm kind of disappointed in that woman
Which one?
on Shark Tank.
Oh, for like making this a bigger deal than
Like,
it is?
she totally capitalized on this
Yeah, she did.
idea
Yeah, she did.
that's not accurate
Yeah.
anymore. Now, will you look up, because similar to this beaver butt, I was similarly horrified, I think years ago,
Mm-hmm.
to learn that like red dye in food, which Lord knows I eat so much red dye.
Yeah.
Twizzlers.
Mm-hmm.
I guess Twizzlers is pretty much the only thing, but I do eat a lot of Twizzlers. Like red gummy bears, I guess, and it's mostly in candy for me, but red dye is made from like ground up insects. Will you look that up?
Red dye made from beetles or bugs.
Yes.
Carminic acid, typically 17 to 24% of dried insects' weights, can be extracted from the body and eggs and mixed with aluminum or calcium salts to make carmine dye, also known as something. Today, carmine is primarily used as a colorant in food and lipstick, E120 or natural red 4.
Will you ask Google is carmine dye used in candy or like
It's called cochineal. The story of carminic acid traces back thousands.
Oh wait, I can look it up.
Do you want me to do the truth about red food dye made from bugs?
Yes, indeed.
Okay. Ooh, it's in a macaron.
No.
Ooh, Starbucks said it will stop using a red food dye made from bugs. Its president recently wrote in blog post.
Recently?
2022.
Okay, wow.
Yeah,
Ew.
it's an insect-based dye.
So it is around. Is it in Twizzlers?
Anytime you see natural red 4, you can be sure that there's a little powdered bug therein.
How the fuck
Yeah.
does anything get away with this? Like, as a vegetarian, as a proud vegetarian,
Yeah.
I'm a little horrified. I guess, like, unless it's marked vegan. But are some companies marking things vegan that actually have? Because there's all this hidden stuff.
Well, you got to think there's at least a few vegan companies that are missing some of this kind of stuff, right? You know.
Beaver butt. Ground up insects. This makes me never want to eat again.
Oh, it has known health risks.
Oh my God.
It's also used in lipstick.
Great.
At least one person has reported a severe allergic reaction.
Well, this is helpful because it's going to really curb my Twizzler consumption.
Interestingly enough, other red dyes such as red number 2 and red number 40 carry far greater health risks and are derived from either coal or petroleum. You can't win out there.
You can't win.
And wasn't it? I remember growing up, I drank so much Mountain Dew.
Ew, yeah.
Yellow number 5, they said like could make you sterile or make your balls smaller or something, right?
It's just that's just straight nuclear waste.
What's that mean?
I'm just joking. Like nuclear fallout.
But
used.
because it's in Mountain Dew.
Well, because of the color.
The yellow.
It's like glowing.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Yikes.
Okay. My stomach honestly is kind of turning right now. Let's talk about something happy.
But you should be fine because there's no beaver butt glue. Maybe you're having a little crushed up beetle on your lips right now. Right?
I don't think so because this is all natural. But again,
beetles would be all natural.
It says mindful skincare made from plants. This is Melixer. Vegan.
Okay.
Lip butter with agave
What's a lip butter?
and then natural ingredients.
Uh-oh,
I'm
ruh-roh.
going to put some on now.
You know how last week we were talking about just this new era with our kids, and how I was talking about how cool our daughter's friend with the cool music
Yes.
selection was? Okay, so they dropped a bomb on me last night. Big shout out to Beis for supporting this week's episode. As you have probably heard, we love our Beis Weekender bags, and we have
Love
an
it.
offer for you. If you go to beistravel.com/NLR, you get 15% off your first purchase. Elizabeth, I noticed you rocking the Weekender bag yesterday.
I love this bag so much. I want everyone to have one. It is so fantastic because it's sleek. It looks great. It holds up. It's super durable. You can bang that thing around and it's not getting messed.
They tout that it gets better with age too, which I like that. They thought of that.
I also love it's ingenious. You kind of pop it open.
Okay.
And so the top, when you're packing it, you have this open space to pack, and then it kind of collapses down. I can't even describe it, but it makes packing so easy and simple, and it keeps everything really organized in the bag, which I really like. There's a slot for your iPad. There are slots for other things that you need to put. And then also, obviously, I love the bottom part where you can put your shoes that are dirty. And I had cabin dirty shoes this last trip, and I just wiped it out. It's so easy to clean.
Oh, what's the material like in there?
It's like easy to wipe.
So it's not like a fabric. It's like,
it's very, yes, they have thought of everything.
ooh,
So
I mean,
please go to,
you're going to go to beistravel.com/NLR. That's BEIS travel.com/NLR for 15% off your first purchase. That's what you're going to do. They have over 30,000 5-star reviews.
yes.
Crazy.
Great.
Go get it. Now, Teddy, she started telling me, like, have you heard this conspiracy? I don't think it's true about Michael Jackson. And I was like, whoa.
Well, I don't know if it's the end of year thing or what is happening, but the talk on the playground has amped up to a new level. Like, it is, I don't know what is going on, but it's in both of our kids' grades.
Yeah.
What'd she say?
Like, she's like, well, the story is that, like, whatever day he died, he might not have actually died, but instead he's, like, in disguise as, like, a younger person now.
Oh, God, that's
And,
all
like,
sorts of weird.
He has, like, such great disguise. Because there's this person that sounds just like him, but is in, like, a disguise that, like, maybe claims to be or something.
Okay, well, at least
but
it's
I was
that,
just like,
and it's not like the other thing that's not a conspiracy. Come at me if you want. Sorry, I watched those documentaries.
What's so
I'm like,
wild. It's like there are some people that are like, oh, that's one of the biggest conspiracies of them all.
sure,
You know
sure,
what I mean?
sure. But by the way,
It's just funny that we are talking conspiracy about this.
let me just say this about Michael Jackson.
We think he did it.
Oh, I don't even think. I think it's a matter of fact right now. He was a pedophile. But take away whatever you want to say about it and be like, no, he wasn't. The fact that he was walking around holding hands with a 7-year-old at all these press events and concerts and stuff, and everyone was just like, oh, there he is with a young, is so weird.
Yeah.
And then also those boys' moms say that he asked if he could sleep in bed with those boys. Like, and they agreed. And that also speaks to how warped our view of everything was back then. Like, going like, oh, yeah, sure, this grown-ass man wants to have he loves roller coasters, so he just must be a child at heart, and he just wants to have a sleepover. Like, so now it just seems so insane, and I'm so glad that we've evolved to understand some red flags. Like, if there were, not to put, I don't think I'm just picking some name out of, let's say Justin Styles, okay? This huge pop star is walking around holding hands with a little 7-year-old boy who's at every leg of his tour.
Yeah.
Everyone's going, hang on a second.
Yeah.
But not back then. Different.
Yeah.
Tough stuff.
Very. let's move
From
on.
beaver butt to beaver butt.
Can I ask you if you have any interest in this? In my inbox today, New York Times, the 5 best exercises for better sex. I didn't even look at it. Is that of any curious
Can we
to you?
guess?
That's exactly what I wanted to do.
Yes.
Okay, my first guess is
Oh, I have a big
the
guess.
okay. There's gonna be some sort of pelvic floor exercise. There just is.
I don't know though, because
Core
that
strength, same thing, sort of ish.
maybe, but I think coming from the New York Times,
Mm-hmm.
first of all, unfortunately, pelvic floor health is still a relatively new thing in our, world, and it's very important for women, obviously, but also for men to. And I'm curious, Andy, if you've ever been in touch with your pelvic floor.
Not enough.
Well, I don't know that the New York Times would include that in an article with the headline exercises, because it would require an education about what the fuck is the pelvic floor.
But this is an article about 5 exercises for a better sex life. Don't you think they're going to say Kegels, like where you squeeze and whatnot? Is that a pelvic floor
Yes,
exercise?
it is. I hope that they do. By the way, people, like an entry level Kegel is like the sensation of when you stop pee
I'm doing one right now.
mid flow.
Uh-huh.
But you can get as you know, I've gone to the University of Kegel.
Well, you're tantric.
But I can Kegel if I really concentrate. Now I when I was actually working on this with my lady, it was much stronger, so I should probably
My
get
lady.
back into it. But I can Kegel the back part by my butt.
Oh, wow.
I can Kegel the front part by my clitoris. I can Kegel deeper up inside me, closer to kidneys.
Okay, I don't know. Okay, we get it. Okay. Let's just put our each. All right, let's go guess for guess. I think there has to be something like that is going to be one
I
of them.
hope
One
there
of the
is.
5.
I
Okay,
hope
what do you
there
think
is.
one of the 5 is going to be?
Squats.
Why?
It kind of gets all of that.
But all core strength. I think that something about core strength would be good.
Okay, you're fixating on core strength. I'm not talking about core strength when I'm doing squats.
Okay.
That's truly glutes, legs. It gives you a solid foundation.
Because you want to be able to lift
You're
people.
sticking your booty out if you're doing it right.
Okay.
And and there are different types of squats, but one is where you're actually sticking your booty out and up, kind of twerking.
Great.
All of those muscles.
Yeah.
And it's not core strength. So
Yeah.
don't get it twisted.
Okay.
I think it's just a classic squat. On top of that,
Yeah.
squats are really important for aging health.
Okay, but that's not what we're talking about.
Well,
But
it keeps
if
you,
this was for a better
attractive
sex
and-
life for in your, 50s, 60s, 70s maybe. But
Yeah. Okay.
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 I'm going to say something for really ripped arms. You want big guns so you can lift other humans up and stuff.
Yeah, grip strength and
Not grip. Not grip strength. How many times have I told you? Ease up on the grip strength. But no, just big arms, okay? That's one for me.
okay. Here's one.
Yeah.
Well, this is not an exercise. Well, okay, I'll pick an exercise.
These are exercises.
I know. I'm gonna pick an exercise from this practice.
Wait, let me...
Hang on.
Okay.
Vinyasana.
Breathing.
Oh wait, is that the one that you do you go down into cobra and then you go up into downward dog? It's a flow thing, and it has to do with linking to your breath, which I think breath work is very important for sex work.
That's a good quote. Great. I'm thinking this is New York Times. I bet there's going to be something that's just walking. Do you know what I mean?
Yes.
Walking, good for the cardiovascular system,
This
which is
going to
important.
be a letdown. I feel like the
No,
whole...
but it is New York Times. I bet there will be. It can't be too salacious, but it can be highbrow. We got this sex expert to tell us. They're a Harvard sex expert. Or do you know what I mean?
What I hope,
Yeah.
can I just say,
Yeah.
I hope it's not walking, stretching, yoga.
Stretching, important.
I know, but stretching is umbrella of exercises. Like, what stretch? Am I
We need
stretching
more
my
of a
quads?
yeah.
Or am I doing like center split? You know, I
I
want
want to learn
know.
about like some sort of penis exercise I didn't know existed with like little dumbbells or something. Do you know what I mean?
Yes.
But yeah, no, it's gonna be walking. It's gonna be stretching.
I love that we're already mad at this.
Yeah, no, but hold on. Honestly, walking, stretching. There's gonna be a pelvic floor thing. I'm gonna give you squats, and we need one more.
Squats is the only like. Now, is it tennis?
Holy shit! Let's just get into it. Hold on. Okay.
As we know, that helps you out.
Okay.
Not that you need help, but
All right.
puts you over the edge.
You can train for sex. It's important to remember that sex is movement and exercise. And this is from Debbie from Health Promotion at Indiana University. Okay, it's not Harvard, but
No, shout out IU.
all right, number
I went
one.
to a little Indy 500 at IU. That was fun.
What's a little Indy 500?
Do you know what the Indy 500 is?
The race?
Yeah.
Sure.
So at IU, they have like a little Indy one, and it is a race. Part of me thinks it's go-karting, but here's the thing. Everyone is so drunk, me included,
Yeah.
that I don't really remember what it
wow.
was.
Crazy.
It was fun.
Okay, number one, work in bursts of high intensity cardio because you want that cardio. You want the blood moving. Important for erections and vaginal lubrication.
Oh, go fuck off. Bursts of high intensity cardio? How do you get it?
Aerobic exercise.
Tell me what to do. Oh, this is exactly what
If
we
you
were
don't
worried
already
about.
do aerobic exercise, begin by establishing a solid cardio baseline through regular, moderate, intensive activity. Oh, that's just
Go
too vague.
fuck yourself.
Okay, hey, hold on though. Number
Okay.
2, do Kegels
Hey.
correctly.
Oh.
Yeah.
Does it say how to do them correctly?
For women, Dr. Howell suggests imagining an elevator slowly going up, then slowly going all the way back down to the ground floor to ensure the muscles fully release.
Yeah.
For men, tighten your pelvic floor muscles, hold for 3 seconds, and then fully relax for 3.
The thing that and people can watch this on YouTube.
Okay.
We're filming this.
Yeah.
But the thing that my pelvic floor expert told me,
Yeah.
which I really liked, again, this is kind of entry level shit, is to have your vagina be like it's picking
I'm
up.
going to have to blur this out. You can't do it like this.
No, it's picking up a tissue out of a box,
Whoa! What?
and then it's putting the tissue down on the table. And then it's going over and it's picking up a tissue and pulling it up out of the box. And it's putting it back down on the table.
Could people really do that?
That's what I
Like-
think so. Weren't you at some like gross sex show at one point in your life where there were girls holding like lollipops in their vaginas and
Yeah. Yeah,
It's
no,
like
there's
a bachelor
bachelor party, but no tissue grabbing things.
because it would be nice
Do you know the
if
thing
they
about
could
like the
grab a tissue and tidy up a little bit.
you know, like the Amsterdam sex shows where like they're shooting ping pong balls and stuff out? Is that? Do you
Does
think they have a
someone
big
have to
command of the Kegel
Press on their
muscles?
tummy to shoot.
I don't know. Okay, I don't know.
Okay.
That's great though. Okay, number 3, limber up your hips.
How?
Improve your hip mobility. So I guess this is like stretching your hip flexors.
Fuck off.
Okay, God, this next one's really going to make you mad.
Okay.
Focus on your entire core.
Listen, I feel like is this a journalist?
The
like
more
this isn't the
strength-
New York Times.
Yeah, this is
So
soon gonna-
lazy.
The more strength you have in your core, the more you will be able to move easily during sex.
No shit.
Wow. Okay. Oh, okay.
This
last
whole
oh my
article,
God,
this
is-
whole article is basically like, don't be in a coma.
Okay, wait. There's a ton of comments. We got to. This is where it's
Oh,
going to
this
get a bit
is
funny.
fun.
But the last one is, wow, you kind of had this sort of. Practice 5 minutes of daily yoga. I'm going to give that to you with your vinyasa, sort of.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
How dumb.
I'm really disappointed.
This doesn't seem like it should be a
I'm
New York Times
disappointed.
article.
I'm disappointed in that woman on Shark Tank. I'm disappointed in New York Times for putting this out. This feels like a BuzzFeed article. It does.
It
It
does.
feels like an AI.
It
like
does.
God.
Okay, here's some comments. This is the first comment from Leroy. The secret is eating pineapple. For more fun, flip it over. That's the entire comment.
Oh my God, Leroy, what do you mean? For more fun, flip it over.
Number 6, go outside, meet people, talk to them instead of your cell phone. Listen to them. That was from Robert.
Okay, Robert is not wrong. You want a better sex life? Be a fucking human at the cellular level. Did I tell you that there's like this epidemic right now of hang on, Andy.
I'm sorry.
Okay, but
getting
like on
distracted.
college campuses, that's where everyone's supposed to be fucking, right?
Yeah.
Kids aren't really having sex.
Okay.
And a huge epidemic in college right now is that no one's connecting with each other because they're all
Yeah.
on their phones.
Yeah. Yep.
Looking at what their friends are posting from, they're in Ithaca
Yeah.
at their college.
Yeah.
And then it's so upsetting.
Yeah.
And it makes me think of, this was years and years ago, so this was kind of ahead of the times.
Okay.
But I went to a party at like a pretty big shot writer, showrunner, show creator's house.
Okay.
And his girlfriend was kind of throwing this themed party.
Sure.
And it was the first time, and she's younger than me.
Yeah.
It was the first time that I had been to a party where I was like, no one's talking to each other. The decorations look incredible.
Yeah.
All they were doing was taking pictures,
Yeah.
posing, making it, the whole point of the party is
To capture
it looks like we're having fun instead of having fun.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, I'm so with Robert. Is it Robert?
Yeah.
He nailed it.
I wonder if this was Robert Herjavec. He's
You know
commenting on the. He reads the New York Times.
He would have that insight.
Listen to this one. This is from Weird Aristotle. Cardio, cardio, cardio. Oh, wait, no, that's not the one I want. This one's from someone else in Boston. Now, this might be painful to acknowledge in a Christian world with its dogmas. I find that a frequent change of partners does wonders for my libido.
Amen. No, I'm just kidding.
Of course, physical fitness or a reasonably healthy physique is a necessary precondition. Nonetheless, sex often is a mind game, and a melange of variety is a grand stimulant. True for men as well as, I suspect, for women. And then Lisa replied, use a condom.
Lisa, you get it. Hey.
Yeah.
I don't feel that way at all. But, I started watching the Ashley Madison documentary.
Yeah.
It kind of leads me to think, like, I didn't know that there were 40 million accounts on that website.
Yeah.
I'm like,
What was the ratio female to male? Did they get into that?
They did hint at that. I'm sure I didn't finish the whole thing, but like, I think they marketed it as, women are also wanting to blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
But I think the ratio is way different from what they were kind of putting out there.
Yeah. I'm going to look that up while you're talking.
But 40 million accounts, I'm like, is every man just truly incapable of monogamy?
Yeah.
Wait, can I ask you this? And we joke about cheating a lot and stuff like that. Obviously,
Hold
the
on one
whole
second.
tennis fantasy and
Yeah. Hold on. I'm looking at the breakdown of gender. Oh, okay. This makes more sense. What do you think the split is?
80-20.
Wait, it's really hard to say.
They should be able to gather that from like the data breach, I would assume.
Okay. The one thing I'm seeing is it says 86% male, 14% female. The head guy used to tout a 70-30 gender split.
Okay.
And then a 1-to-1 split among people under 30. I think
Bullshit.
that's I think that's bullshit.
Well, the whole thing, I think the whole gist of that thing is like the main guy who created it is also full of shit. Like he presented like I'm a happily married man, but what are you owing?
Okay, there was some stuff. We might need to watch this documentary that the Ashley Madison, it was revealed, were faking female profiles. Some may think that like 95% of the accounts were male, maybe.
Oh,
Oh, I'm very curious now.
I'll finish it with you. Can I ask you? I want to get really real with you
Wow.
in a way that I don't know that we have.
Okay.
I truly believe that we are monogamous.
Yeah, yeah.
And we have been for 20 years since we've been together.
Yes.
Minus the one girl that you kissed in front of me as a joke, like right when we first started dating.
Yeah, I don't know if that counts, but yeah.
I'm joking. I don't think it counts, but it did happen. Okay.
Yeah.
So, how do you feel about monogamy? Because I feel like it's not a challenge at all. I've never seriously thought like, ooh, here's what I'm trying to say. I've never gone like, I sure would like to fuck a bunch of other people, but I value my marriage too much to entertain that.
Wait, say that again?
Like,
you want to fuck other people, but
No.
you value the marriage?
I'm saying I've never had that thought.
Oh, gotcha.
Whereas the picture painted in the beginning of this documentary is basically like no men would like almost kind of the thing of like it's just not natural monogamy for men. And
Sure.
kind of
Yeah,
like
yeah.
the men who do stay monogamous, it's truly out of respect for their partner and their marriage.
Right.
Versus like if you had here's what it is. If I had my druthers, I would be very happy with just us. And I wouldn't ever need anything else.
Don't you have your druthers then?
Yeah.
Okay. You said if I had my druthers.
Right. I'm trying to paint a like hypothetical. Now, if you or any other man had your druthers, would it be, yes, I get to have my wife and my marriage and whatever, but it would be nice if I could like branch out a little bit.
Like if we lived in a society that was like cheating was not frowned upon or...
Yes, I mean, that would be part of it. And by the way, I think we do in some ways. Like there are people who have open marriages and make it work kind of, I don't know, let's check in 10 years. But
Yeah.
you have made it clear, like you would not be able to handle, if I had cheated, you couldn't come back from that.
Oh man, it would fuck me up.
I never would.
Yeah.
I'm saying like, I would be really bummed out because I can't say for sure that I could come back from it. I would never be back all the way from it.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know if it would end in divorce or just a way less happy marriage that we have.
Yeah.
But my question is, here's, I guess, the question.
Yeah.
Do you think for men, monogamy is not like the natural default?
I think biologically, probably we weren't designed.
Because you're supposed to go spread the seed.
Yeah. But I think culturally now, I think there are plenty of arguments to make like that. But I think so much has to do with your moment in time culturally, sort of,
Mm-hmm.
and like how you're brought up and all the baggage that you carry with you. Like, I do think that maybe there is a world where we living in a society, if it like wasn't weird at all to cheat and there was no guilt or fallout,
Mm-hmm.
and you asked me like, would you have sex with other women? I'd be like, yeah, maybe. But the world that we live in, I could never handle it. I never want to.
Mm-hmm.
I'm very happy with our sex life. And I think the burden of like the baggage that we have in our
Mm-hmm.
society, I couldn't do it. Like the reason I couldn't, like if you cheated on me, I couldn't handle it. Where it is also like, oh, what's the big deal? Like I think I get people that like argue like, or other cultures or other
It's like
countries.
a big betrayal. I mean, if
Yeah.
you've agreed to a monogamous relationship,
Yeah,
the
yeah,
big
yeah.
deal is it's a big betrayal.
But I'm even saying in like other cultures, like aren't the French kind of like they're annoyed when their partners step out on them, but there is kind of this less like It happens. Like in their culture, it's not really like grounds for a divorce for a lot of French
Well,
people.
I don't know. I'm so curious. We're kind of like Francophiles right now.
Mm.
We're dreaming about like a France trip and have been looking at French stuff a lot. And there is obviously this like idea about French and sex and being more open and more kind of matter of fact about it, and it's no
Hmm.
big deal. Having said that, like learning more about French culture lately, they seem like actually a little bit more kind of reserved in general.
Yeah.
The beds, like their beds are often two twin beds put together. They're like certain
Yeah.
things that I'm like, where's the sex happening? The way their houses are set up, I'm like, it doesn't feel conducive to fucking.
Oh,
And,
they fuck. You are so
but I'm
wrong.
like, is it just, where are they fucking?
Where?
Yeah.
Wherever they want.
Okay.
We talked about this in French class, and we had a big conversation about the
What?
infidelity part of the attitudes about it. Like it really is the way our French teacher explained it. Like it's just like annoying. It'd be like if I'm trying to think of something that you would do that I would be like, ugh, why did you do that? Like I'd be
Me
disappointed.
saying, like, I love when LA feels small or whatever I said.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's the same over there.
Me
If
saying
you're like,
tableau.
yeah, tableau. If you were like, I gave Pierre a hand job.
No, it can't be that.
I guess it's not that, but
I
it
mean,
is not the same as it is here.
yeah.
Like the idea of you cheating on me, it would emotionally fuck my head
Yes.
in such a crazy way.
Yeah.
And
But here's the
my like that's the thing. Like that is the cultural of it and how we're brought up. But like to me, it would be a huge betrayal. Then I'm sure I'd start spiraling out
You'd
of like
question everything else. Like,
I
if
would
she
start
do that, what else?
it would affect my self-esteem. It would affect
Aw.
like my confidence. Why
Aw.
doesn't she like me anymore? Why did she do like
Yeah.
it would unravel me in this crazy way.
Right.
But I think there's other people that grow up in a different way that it wouldn't unravel them.
The French is very interesting because the French laissez-faire attitude of like, oh yeah, they had an affair, like
Yeah,
everyone
yeah.
has affairs or whatever, actually seems less passionate to me in the sense of like it's kind of this whatever and you're not caring that much. Like there is something sexually passionate about like it ruining your entire everything
Hmm.
that I would do that.
Yeah.
There's like a passion to that is
Yeah.
interestingly kind of lacking. I think French people have culturally been exposed to this less what's puritanical,
But don't you think
like
they have
Moulin
more
Rouge
they have
and
more passion in their life though, don't they?
I
This
don't know. Here's
we
what
got to
I
look
think.
into that more.
We need to go there.
Hmm.
Here's what I think. I think that they have more of a focus on pleasure.
Anal specifically, I think.
Enjoying food, sure, anal, like whatever, enjoying bodies, enjoying artwork
Hmm.
is less. We do come from kind of a puritanical, you don't deserve pleasure until you have to earn it. You can't like sit down and really savor your food. You can't have chocolate. That's bad. You can't have this. You can't have that. You can't sleep in. You can't all of this stuff.
Yeah.
French people, I think, really live in a mindset of like, no, enjoy these things that are here to be enjoyed.
Yeah.
But I do think, on the other hand, I feel like they're a little bit more subdued. They speak more quietly.
Yeah.
They aren't effusive about like, the nicest compliment you can get from my understanding is pas mal, meaning it's not bad.
Mm.
They're not like overly lovey or overly enthusiastic about things.
But I think with their friends and lovers, they are.
Oh, okay.
We need to find out more
Poetry,
of
yeah.
that.
Yeah, I would love to know more.
I think there's a lot of passion.
It's a lot of really good pastry.
Hmm.
I bet you won't find crushed up beetle red dye there.
Maybe this is a bit of a tease, but last night because maybe we'll talk about this on a future episode. We fell into renovating chateaus in France YouTube algorithm.
Oh my
and
gosh.
so far we've already found 2 couples that we are in on their journeys.
We are so, I mean, I'm so happy we stumbled on this random algorithm.
Yeah.
And God, YouTube is good. It's like, oh, you want
more of that?
18th century French chateau renovations by
Yeah.
English-speaking couples?
And there's like,
Here you go.
it's like, this is a world where people, like influencers doing this now.
Yeah.
What's our
Right.
thing going to be like that? I love it. We would never be chateau renovators.
No,
That does not
let's make
appeal
that
to me
super clear.
at all.
Yeah.
But
By the way, I want to ask you this. The cabin renovation, which began 3.5 years ago and is ongoing, never ends. I think I'm good on like a major renovation. I feel like we took that on.
yeah.
It's been, honestly, I'm really proud of myself. Like, it hasn't been a stressful thing. And obviously, since we don't live there,
Yeah.
we've been fortunate enough not to have to like see it every day.
Mm-hmm.
I totally understand why renovation projects can be very stressful.
Yeah.
It's always 10 times the money, 10 times the time, whatever.
Yeah.
There is such a big satisfaction to like seeing it come together though, because at some point, I definitely thought, oh, this is never going to be done to where we can stay in the front house of the cabin. Right. And now we're in there and it's amazing and I love it. And all of the work that was done is really high quality.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm like, we did it. And it was on a small scale. It's a cabin and then a little back studio cabin.
Yeah.
I don't know that I ever need to take on a big reno.
But what you're saying is like if it was ever again, we'd have to be in a position where it was like you hired you would just want people that were spearheading the whole thing and just asking you questions and helping a lot.
Maybe.
Like let's say if we ever wanted to renovate our house in LA.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Well, here's the thing. I guess I just would want to do it with a large budget.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you're right.
Resources.
Someone's spearheading. Big difference.
Yeah, big difference.
Cool.
Yeah. Wow. Okay.
Well, this was fun.
I love it.
Thank you to everyone for listening. If you want to support the show, which we deeply appreciate, you can do so at patreon.com/nobody's listening right.
Yeah.
And there you will get a bonus episode every month. You can also go back into the archives and listen to what we were talking about 13 years ago when we started podcasting, which was probably not that different from what we're talking about now. But please, your support means so much to us, and we would love to see you there.
Yes.
And good night.
Good night.